Hello and welcome to the transmission. Today we'll be looking at the first race of Season 7 of Formula E, the Ad Diriyah ePrix Round 1. And oh boy, what a race it was. So first off, quali. Set up into groups from last year's championship. And so you had both Techeetahs together, which is always a recipe for success, given their history. And oh boy, the Techeetahs in Group 1, they got real close. Oh no. And that meant they just slowed each other down all the time, because they were real close. Youlean, though, he got a real good lap. He had a great lap. Brilliant. And then De Vries and Van Dorn in the Mercedes, they went out like way ahead of everyone else. Really interesting strategy, and I guess it paid out for De Vries, given that, spoilers, he got pole. But it seemed like track evolution was a big deal, because Group 1 kind of didn't get much at all. They were bad, and Sims had a bad time as well, which is sad, because I'm an unbiased source who is not a big Sims fan. Alexander Sims, definitely not a massive fan of Sims. Oh no. But then Group 4, Sergio Sette Camera crashes out. Bam. Oh no. Then you had Nick Cassidy, Nico Muller who are going to be in Super Bowl, and you had Tom Blomqvist, who got 7th. But it turned out, because the yellow flag, they lost out. They had to start right near the back. During Super Bowl, Mitch Evans, he clunked the wall a bit. Lynn did pretty well. Rast slid a lot, but did well. Fairlane did very well. Mortara didn't do quite as well. And Nick De Vries just obliterates them all with 7/10 quicker lap. What? He's amazing. That was incredible. What a lap. That was so good. So for qualifying, I had De Vries first, and then Fairlane, Rene Rast, Mortara, Lynn, Evans, Lotra, Bird, Günther, Roland, Sims, Nasso, Turvey, Dennis, Van Dorn, De Grassi, Buemi, Da Costa, Byrne, Sette Camera, Cassidy, Blomqvist, Muller, and Freins, who didn't qualify because he crashed at the end of FP2, of Practice 2 even. This isn't Formula 1. Race time, let's go! It's racing. Let's racing time. It's race. After the world's slowest formation lap, where the safety car, the convertible BMW i8 thing that they've got, went 2 kilometers an hour, which took so long, and they were pretty smooth. They're pretty safe. Not really any first corner incidents. It was all good. De Vries just off like a lightning bolt. Absolutely just woof. And that was it. That was it for the rest of the race. De Vries was just in front, ahead by a mile almost. And Sam Bird, who started in 8th, got past Andre Lotra in a very good overtake, and he got past Alex Lynn in a great overtake a bit later. But it makes me sad to say that we'll have to get back to that later, because bleep bloop, the watch brand that I can't name, fastest lap noise is incredibly loud. Broke my ears every time it came up, and it came up a lot because everyone was always setting fastest laps. I don't know why I wrote bottoms attacking, because the people at the bottom in the lower end of the field tend to go for attack mode first. It makes sense. It makes sense when you think about it. And then we had some weird penalties. We had It was Sete Camera, I think, got another penalty for like overuse on braking or something. And I thought, because in the first race last year there were so many penalties, everyone got penalties, and in season 5 as well, everyone just technical infringement. That didn't happen. They didn't get so many technical infringements just everywhere. And then, we had Rast going around the outside in the chicane past the Fairline. Incredible. Really good. And Fairline used that opportunity to take attack mode, which worked out for him in the end. And then, Alex Lynn versus Sam Bird. Wow. They really battled it out. So Bird went past, and then Lynn went back past, and wow, they had some great racing. But then, it's so sad. Sam Bird fakes an outside maneuver, but he sort of sells him the dummy, and he quickly dives down the inside into the first corner. But Lynn, in what I guess you could call a slight error, just sort of turns in and squeezes him up against the wall. Squeeze him like a freshly pure orange juice from concentrate, and bam. That's it. That's it. Lynn's turned around. Bird is well, he's broken. Everything in his car is broken because he's been squeezed up against the wall. And they're out. They're both out. Bird tries to hold on, but he can't. His car is incredibly damaged. He tried changing his wheels, and it was just too late. Too little, too late. There were 17 minutes left or something, and that was it. But on the other hand, we saw Evans and Mortara versus Fairline, an incredible battle where Mortara had attack mode and managed to just weave his way past both Evans and Fairline on the same straight, threading the needle through this tiny gap. It was amazing. I mean, Jack Nicholls flip-flopped from going wow, this is the best thing I've seen in Formula E ever, to it was just luck. It was just luck. But then, of course, we had a safety car because of the Lynn and Bird incident. And I thought, because last year, you see, we had a lot of incidents with attack mode at Diriyah, because so you've got the layout of the circuit, you've got the finish line on the back straight, and then you've got the chicane, and then you've got a right-hander, and then you've got the pit straight, which is where the start line is. So the safety car line is where the start line is, but the finish line is it is something else. So what happened before was, it would say safety car in this lap. This was last year. So safety car in this lap, and the safety car would go in and the pack would be free. And that was at the finish line. And whoever was in front would likely just sort of go. And that happened this year as well, once the green flag. But the issue with that was the attack mode was in between the finish line and the start line, on the chicane itself. So if you wanted to, but you're not allowed to overtake until you pass the safety car line. But the point of attack mode is that you lose positions but get the power boost. So we ended up in an odd situation where people would, upon the green flag coming out, they'd go over attack mode, and then everyone else would have to sort of slow down and just not go, because these guys were going to take a year going all the long way around this corner. It was kind of messed up. It was a bit messed up, and we got things like Maximilian Günther just thinking nah, I'll just go for it, passing two people before the safety car line and getting penalised for it. And he had his maiden podium, which was very sad. But speaking of Maximilian Günther, who apparently doesn't like to be called Maxi, according to Jack Nichols and probably Maximilian Günther, and I keep saying his first name. Günther, speaking of Günther, he, on the restart, kind of messed up somewhere. Took a bit too much speed into the first few corners and bam! Smashed straight into the wall. And that was it, he was out. Looks like he sort of clipped the inside wall or something and then sort of lost the rear and smashed straight into the outside wall. It was sad. So that meant we had another safety car. So that's 2 safety cars. At the same time, you'd had, like, René Rast had already taken his attack mode, but Mortara in front of him hadn't. So he'd have to do it, and he would lose out because of strategy, because you have to take both, but it costs time. And when it's bunched up, you lose more positions, and you lose more time fighting for position than you would if it was clear. So Mortara and Evans lose out, and Rast manages to get back into second, but they managed to get back past him, sadly. Rast seemed to be saving a heck of a lot of energy, maybe for the last lap, but that didn't really work out. He tried a valley. It was a really close last lap battle, really close. But he just couldn't quite put it all together, and sadly did not manage to get, well, sadly if you're a Rast fan, did not manage to get past or onto a podium. Right at the finish, I don't know what happened, but there were a lot of people very bunched up right at the finish after the winner across the line, and Buemi was going quite slowly and just sort of went right into the side of another driver, and there was debris flying. I don't really know what happened, but anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, De Vries wins. He dominated the entire race. It was brilliant. He completely dominated. Lights to flag. Didn't get fastest lap. That honour goes to Rast, I believe. So good on him. Rast has been doing really well, actually, thinking about it. Given that he just started Formula E for the Berlin 6 races in 9 days thing last year, he's done really well for himself. But the actual results were De Vries, Mortara, Evans, Rast, Wehrlein, Rowland, Sims, Van Dorn, De Grassi, Turvey, Da Costa, Dennis, Buemi, Nato, Verne, Lotterfreins, Blomqvist, Cassidy, Sete Camera, Muller, and out was Günther Berlin. I am not Matty from WTF1, and I don't think I could ever replicate that. So you'll just have to deal with me and my terrible voice and stuff. But De Vries, excellent job. Mortara, amazing job. Evans, 6th to 3rd, very good, very nice. And he didn't, crash like his teammate, sad. René Rast, really good job. Pascal Wehrlein, he did lose out. He lost out 3 places. That was sad, but he did good. I mean, he managed to get to second. It shows the talent that he is. Rowland from 10th to 6th, really good. Sims from 11th to 7th, that's pretty good. Van Dorn from 15th to 8th, again, really good. De Grassi, 16th to 9th, nice. Buemi came 13th, which was 17th to 13th, respectable. Turvey got a point for Neo. Oh, yes. Da Costa and Verne for Techeetah, they did a decent recovery, but sadly didn't get any points, which is kind of typical of the reigning champion team because they know they didn't do well last year. The Saudi Arabia ePrix. Jake Dennis did well for his debut, getting 12th. Norman Nato did well for his debut, getting 14th. Lotterer, I don't know why he took a pit stop during the safety car, but he did. And that lost him a lot of positions because he was running quite well in the top 10. Freins, well, I mean, he was kind of at a big disadvantage from the start, given that he couldn't qualify because he crashed in practice too. Blomqvist made the best of a bad situation, especially given it's his first race in a while. Cassidy as well. Sete Camera had a bad day, but hopefully he can show his pace next tomorrow, or well, I'm recording this after, so I guess yesterday. Nico Müller, I'm not quite sure what happened, because he qualified really well as well. He got into Superpole and then got penalised, but he didn't seem to have the race pace. And then out, Günther, he did really well, right up until he made a big mistake, and it seems like that's kind of the trend with Günther so far, that he's incredibly fast but makes a lot of mistakes. Because, I mean, remember last year where he got 2 wins and a second, and then that was like the only points he got for the entire season. It was kind of messed up. Bird and Lin, it seems like Lin was at fault, which is sad because he was also doing very well, and so was Bird. They've all done well. I won't say a bad thing about any of them. Yeah. What do you think about that? All the other people, I like them all. Bam. None of them are bad. I like all the drivers. And that's gonna be it from me today in this review thing of the race that happened. It's Formula E Season 7, Race 1. End transmission.